Hey everyone, this is Doreen. I'm doing problem 7-8A for the Ayaya Corporation. It wants us to do the monthly cash budgets for January and February. There's the information we've been given, and this is the information, other data that they've given us as well. Alright, so I went ahead and then I put in the beginning cash balance of $47,000. Then I added the cash receipts, which was the collections from customers of $328, and then the notes receivable of $17,000. And that information I got like right here, the collections from the customers, and so the notes receivables. This is from December, but we will include it in the January information, and the sale of securities that says for February, so that won't be included in this lot. So that's why it's got a 0 for sale of securities, because it won't appear until this month. So I added those together and I got $345,000, and then I added the total receipts with the cash balance, and I got $392,000. Then I went ahead and did the cash disbursements, which you take away from the above amount. So it was salaries, I had the selling expenses, administrative expenses, and purchases. The only thing that you have to watch for here was like the administrative expenses. I have $69,000, and if you look on the original, it says that administrative expenses for January was $70,000. But we have to take into consideration this part. It says $1,000 was depreciation for the month, so it would be the $70,000 minus the $1,000, which gives you $69,000. So that's why I've got $69,000 there. So I did up the cash disbursements and I added them all up, and it was $350,000, and of which I took the $350,000 from the $392,000 which I had above, and then I ended up with $42,000. And so since it said that the company wanted to maintain minimum cash balance of $59,000, I thought, okay, so there's $42,000, and so I need to borrow some money to make it up to $59,000. Well, I found out that wasn't right, but here's what I ended up doing the first round. And so I had the $59,000 that you can see here, and then I put that as your I took the $59,000 and I put it up as a starting balance for the next month, and I went through and I plugged in the information, and on the administrative expense I took off the $1,000, and I went through and I thought, yay, I got this right. See the $61,000, and it was, I thought, yeah, I got this, and it was wrong. So the reason it was wrong was that I did not do this part properly. So right here, if you look, it says that the payments for the purchases for January was $100,000. I had used the $120,000 and the $130,000, but you need to use the $100,000 and the $140,000. So as we go back to what my final is, as you can see, that's my final amount. And here where the purchases are, I did the purchases for $100,000, and then the next month I did the purchases for $140,000. Now, because that changed to $100,000, it changed up my final amount over here. So I had $33,000 in disbursements, of which when I took it away from the $392,000, I had $62,000 left, which was over the $59,000. And so I didn't need to add any, I didn't need to borrow anything or do any repayments. So that's $62,000, which you take and you put it up the top, and that's what your starting balance will be. Then you add in your, remember the sale of securities that we saw, it was a 0 here, but it was for February, so you add the sale of securities in here. You add these guys up and you have this total amount of cash, which is $445,000. then you take away all of this information. Remember, the administrative expenses has to take away $1,000, and so you want to take $1,000 off there. And on my one, it's $72,000. I know there's a whole bunch of different numbers on different on other people's stuff, but if you go back to the beginning, and if you look at what your what it tells you here, what if it includes depreciation, you would take it away from the administrative expense. And mine was $73,000, so I took away that and made it $72,000. Going back here, all of this information. So there was a dividends in there for $12,000, which we added in, and so that gave us a total of $391,000 of disbursements, which we took away from the total available cash, which is here, and then we got the amount of $54,000. Now remember, they said that they wanted the $59,000. I wonder if this works. No, sorry. The $59,000, which is here. The company wants to maintain a minimum cash balance of $59,000, and we only have $54,000, so we have to borrow. So we're borrowing $5,000. We don't have any repayments, so we got zero there, and we have a total of $59,000 at the end. This one was really hard, and so I had to look around. I got mixed up a lot of times, and I didn't put things in until I could figure it out before I did it. But the first time round, I pretty much got it right, and then the second time I figured out that I was wrong because of the purchases. So you can see this is the one I did the first time around, and then I stuffed up because my purchases were wrong. I took it from the wrong amount. So if you look at your purchases, depending on what information you have over here, the payments for purchases is what you want to put in there, not this amount up here. Okay, so look for your payments and purchases and check that out, and then you would get the whole thing. I would actually do the whole thing as and what you think the first time around. Just put them all in, and then hopefully you push the right buttons and don't fat finger it like our instructor always says. But here's the information, here's the final results, and if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I know this was long. I apologize how long it was. Anyway, I hope you guys understand this, and if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Alrighty, thanks, bye.